Attention,
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
shoppers.
Sammy Ann, you're early. Hi. Thank you so much for the raid, and hello everyone. Welcome in. It's time to stream. You're actually bang on time. Hello everybody. Welcome in. Hello to Sammy Ann. Hello Q2s. Hello Turnip. Hello, hello, hello Dyer. Welcome in, friends. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? It's lovely to see you, Turnip. Thank you very much for the lurk. Q2 says, hey Turnip, did you know that Sammy is an incredibly smart and likable person who has deep knowledge about tea? I mean, one of those things is certainly true. Thank you. Also, welcome in. I hope you're well. I hope you are all very, very well. Sammy is raiding and running. Have a lovely, lovely raid and run, my friend. Thank you so much for entrusting me with your wonderful people. Kindred, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. And for anyone who's just come in on the raid, short stream today, off to do errands. Have fun with the Robins. I shall do my very best. Thank you. I'm gonna get a shout out for Sammy in the chat, who is off on her way to get some other stuff done, and that is very, very fair. Sometimes you gotta get in and then get out. So please don't let me keep you. But if anyone is not familiar with Sammy Ann and her wonderful, wonderful streams and her wonderful, wonderful work, heartily recommend. A wonderful human being and an incredibly whimsical artist. For anyone who's not familiar with me, we're painting birds today, but that's not the only thing that I paint. I just, I hit like, I don't even know what constitutes, like, what ages are middle-aged? Am I middle-aged, or am I, like, aging myself forwards by calling myself middle-aged? I'm, like, barely in my 40s. Anyways, don't talk about your ages, chat. Hi. Point being, I just made the mistake of having a snack with almond butter before we started, and, it's, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. Because it's just in there. Ah, so thick, so sticky. Oh good, I aspirated some of my coffee. Yum, yum, delicious. Huh. Okay, anyways, point. For anyone who's still here for some reason, hi, my name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and sometimes on Thursdays instead of art if I'm feeling extra crispy. And I'm feeling extra crispy this week. Oh my god, speaking of extra crispy, I haven't taken my meds. Chat, if there are meds that you're supposed to have taken at this point in the day, please, and you haven't done so, please go take your meds. I'm gonna be back in just a second, because that's the other thing I was gonna do before I started stream, was take my meds. So, back in a second. Oh no! Okay. Here's your accountability. Acrivistine. Here we go. Yum yum. Delightful. Okay. Sorry about that. But you probably didn't want me to be having symptoms on stream, because I wanted that to end early, because they're not fun. Anyways, enough about me. Yeah. I'm gonna... Now, I know that our friend Sammy Ann's gone for a little dip, but that doesn't mean that we can't... That doesn't mean that we can't be a little bit sneaky and take a look at what's... In fact, I haven't seen this one yet. Oh, bless. Okay, so, popping onto the old Instagram, straight off the bat. This is my Instagram. This is me. Hello. If you're not familiar with my artwork, I'm a traditional artist working primarily in watercolor, but I do some other things sometimes. I'm contemplating doing a new lino cut print. I have a clean block here that I haven't sketched anything onto yet. Ooh, excitement. But here's some stuff I did recently. This is a fan art piece from the Pirate Show. I did an animation frame for an animation that a whole bunch of artists got together and did, and this was my frame, and I'm pleased as punch with that. This is a ghost who's also a barista, aka a barista, also a friend of the channel. Anyways, that's the kind of gubbins that I get up to. This is the kind of gubbins that Sammy Ann gets up to. So stinking cute and so very, very festive. I love this. I hadn't seen this one before, and it's so cute. It's so cute. If you like dragons, you'll like Sammy Ann's art. She does a lot of very whimsical pieces, very like, all of these should be in children's books if they're not already, that kind of thing. And especially very sweet dragons, as well as this one, which I saw a couple days ago, which I loved so much. I love it so much. This is a gingerbread dragon. Can you believe to learn? But yeah, if you're not familiar, again, with Sammy Ann's work, please go check her out. If you're not familiar with my work, well, welcome in. You're going to get to see some more of it get made right now. And I'm feeling pretty pumped about that. Got another shout out for the lovely Sammy Ann in the chat, and I hope that her errands are going well. Anyways, so if you missed the brief of this piece, to be honest, I'm getting close to being done these, which is really great. So there's no doubt in my mind that we'll finish this today, which is fantastic. I've been working in slow motion lately. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, sort of taking your time and being mindful. Sometimes it's nice to like bang out a sketch in, you know, like 20 minutes, and sometimes it's nice to just kind of give something a little bit of time and just, you know, just work on it for a bit. So that's what I'm doing with these robins. Which was not my intention. I was going to do some very fast, sketchy robins because I have a short list of 16 robin species and I want to draw and paint all of them. But I don't want to do nothing but robin painting on stream. So when this is done, I think we'll take a break and work on something else for a little while. And I might do some of the robins off stream. But my aim is to do like an art print or maybe a sticker sheet or maybe both. It's just like a whole bunch of different species of robin with like their names and stuff and where they're from. Just because there's so many different types of robin and they're very diverse, as you can see, even just like the shapes. Like this one's like, I mean, this is obviously just a completely different species that they named after this one. If you didn't know, this is a completely different species that they named after this one. This is the classic British Christmas emblem, aka the European robin. This is the American robin. I dislike that it's called the American robin because it's the North American robin because it is all over the place where my family's from in Canada too. Damn it. Do we not count? Are we not important? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's from the Americas, I suppose, if you want to put it that way, I guess. What is the distribution of the American robin anyways? I'm looking it up. Because it's going to bother me if I don't. Let's just pop over to... Wikipedia should have a good, like, distribution map. Okay, so for sure it should just be called the North American robin. Because here's where it has babies. Here's where it is all year round, including, crucially, not to dox my family, but where I'm from in Canada, which is this little dangly bit surrounded by the Great Lakes. And then it does travel as far down as Mexico in the winters. So there you go. But with that being said, that's only North America. It doesn't really dip into like Central or South America at all. So if you could say it's the American robin because it is native to the Americas, well, that's inaccurate because that's only one of the Americas. The North one. So you should just call it the North American robin, gosh dang it. Maybe there aren't any robins that... I don't... Actually, in my research, I did not find any robin species that are resident in or native to South America. And I did look. Because I did want to capture as many regions in terms of robin species as I could. Just out of curiosity... South American robins, are there any? No. Okay, so my research rabbit hole did not lead me astray. Fantastic. I mean, I've got robin species in my short list from as far afield as Europe. Obviously, we have Taiwan here. Here's Australia. This obviously is North America. Get it right. But also I've got like Japan, Indonesia, I think, New Guinea, New Zealand, the quite a swathe of the like sort of eastern not quite the coast, but like the eastern side of the African continent, like quite a lot of it. Um, uh, yeah. So, you know, a reasonably large part of the world, notwithstanding Central and South America and like Antarctica, I guess. Um, Not really seeing a lot of like Central or Western Asia represented either. Um, but still, that's a lot of ground for a tiny bird to cover. So all things considered, I'm pretty impressed. Anyways, I'm gonna take a sip of this. I haven't properly sipped this tea yet. This is my advent calendar tea for today. I have a tea advent calendar in case anyone is surprised by this. It's a green tea. And I'm surprised that that's as soft as it is. It's a green tea called Ginger Snap Green, and I like it. It's got a really nice flavor. It's soft and sweet, and there's like, but that I kind of wish that the ginger was hitting me a little bit harder, but that's always my complaint about like a ginger nut biscuit, is that is when it's not gingery enough, you know, like if it just tastes like a biscuit that like some ginger whispered at it, no, I want it to be punchy. I want it to taste like spicy ginger, you know. Ginger should pack a little bit of a punch. Otherwise, I feel like what are you doing? For me personally, anyway. Some people might prefer a milder ginger, but if it's something that I want to have ginger in it, I want to be able to taste the ginger. I want to know that the ginger's there. Also, because ginger helps settle the stomach, if there's only like a homeopathic amount of ginger, it's not going to do bupkis for my terrible, tumultuous tummy. So, you know, gotta be gingery. So yeah, this is really tasty, but I wish there was more ginger in it. That's my review. Anywho. Turnip says, I found a bigger map. They spent some time in the top half of Mexico. Hell yeah. I've never been to Mexico, but I bet they have a super, super lovely time there. It looks beautiful. Anyways, Lugia, hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in on the raid. It's lovely to see you, and I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. My Monday's going great because I get to hang out with y'all and do artwork, and that is very much my happy place. So, thank you all for being here and hanging with me while we do some artworks. Hell yeah. I think mostly what needs to be done on here, notwithstanding the line weight, is it looks like I need to do some of the feathery texture in the darker portion of plumage on the pink robin, which, again, it looks so dumb. It looks really dumb. It looks like this bird is, like, this bird compared to these other birds does not look like a realistically proportioned bird, but I swear to you it is. This is what they look like. They are just very spherical. And you know what? I love that for them. They are a borb. They are a bird orb. It's delightful. Anyways, random fact, back to lurk with me. Have a lovely lurk, Turnip. Thank you. Lugia says, yeah, a bit late. Sammy didn't let me out of her dragon den. Oh my goodness. Oh no, were you in trouble? Oh dear. Well, I'm glad that you've managed to escape. My big exciting news for actually, there are a few things that that I have to mention. Off the top, straight off the bat, I want to say, I'm going to put a link to my Discord in the chat for anyone who isn't a member of the Discord and would like to join. Oh, now the chatbot's not running. Ah, shoot. How did I not notice before that the chatbot wasn't running? Chatbot, not catbot. Come on, load. Anyways. Yes, it's fine. Oh no. Oh no, did my shout out for Sammy Ann didn't work then? Ah, shoot, it didn't. Heck, shoot. Well, I'll do that again because I wanna shout out our raiders. I mean, I do have the Twitch integrated shout out command as well, which did run, but I like doing 2 shout outs because it's nice. Come on. Ah, it's not loaded yet. Oh, for flip's sake, it's still loading in. Anyways, never mind. My point is, the reason I mentioned Discord is that just a general safety advisory. A Discord server that I'm a member in got hacked today. And I feel really bad about it. The owner's like account was hacked, and they hacked the server that they own. And it was very confusing and strange. Don't worry, I didn't click on anything. Like, my account, as far as I can tell, is secure and fine. But basically what I wanted to put out there as a result of this is, I think we all know this basic information security now, but just to reiterate, because every once in a while something looks real convincing, just if someone who's like in a server with you, or someone who, like, you know, someone you're friends with sends you a DM out of nowhere and sends you like a link to something, maybe just contact them on like a different platform that you share to make sure that it's legit and not like their account has been hacked kind of thing. You know, you want to be 100% safe. But likewise, for your own account, please make sure that A, your password is something secure, and B, that you have some kind of two-factor authentication in place. And this should be any account that allows you to have two-factor authentication in place. You should really consider doing it, you know, where it either sends you a text message or an email to confirm that you did in fact just log in. It's a faff and a pain in the backside, but it's significantly less of a pain in the backside than, like, it's 1 a.m. on Christmas Eve and you're on the phone with Netflix customer support because some, you know, douchebag in Spain hacked your Netflix account. Just putting that happened to me. And it was not fun. I did not enjoy that. It was a very stressful and scary experience. I was just, you know, checking my emails before going to bed, and I see that I've got, did I mean to change my email address? No, I did not. So yeah, bang over straight on the phone to Netflix HQ. They did, thankfully, it was fairly easy to sort. But I did get put on hold for like 30 minutes, and it was very stressful because, you know, like, it's Christmas and I just want to go to bed. I'm full of mince pies and I'm very sleepy. This is many years ago, by the way. I haven't had Netflix for years. I've canceled most of my streaming services and stuff. I'm thinking of picking up a streaming service. Because I'm about to, I don't have a lot of subscription based things apart from, like, the, you know, people that I'm subbed to on Twitch. And I'm in, I think, a couple of Patreons. But one of the Patreons that I'm in, their podcast recently ended, and to be honest, I wasn't really following it that much after sort of a brief hyperfixation burst, and since they're not really doing that anymore, I'm kind of like, well, I'm not participating here. I can probably just, you can have the ad money from when I do listen to your podcast. So I may have, like, you know, £5 a month going spare, so I'm considering possibly subscribing to a streaming service. But again, I'm probably gonna not, because I know exactly what happens when I subscribe to a streaming service. It's like any of these subscription-based things. You subscribe, and then you forget that you're subscribed after a period of time, if you're not actively using it. And you end up paying for like 6 months of the thing that you're not using, which I mean, I have a subscription to Epidemic Sound right now, which is how you get the nice music that you get to listen to when my stream is starting, like this. Oh wait, it's muted. Hold on. This, but that's so I can make videos and stuff and have music in them. I don't know if it's the most effective use of my meager Twitch income, considering how infrequently I've been able to make videos this year, which, by the way, here's a link to my YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Sammy Kelch. I promise I'm going to start making videos again soon. I've had this, like, I've been wanting to for ages, but I've had this, like, 4-month long at this point saga of, like, dentist stuff that's just been so, and then other medical things on top of that. That's just been so draining. And, like, if you put any work towards making videos, it's work. You know, like, the way that people are able to put out videos, like, once a week or once a month that are, like, fairly research and time intensive in terms of what they're doing is that, A, this is probably most or all of what they're doing, and they might also have employees that maybe or maybe don't get credited, you know? Like, like, I think a lot of the channels where it's like, it's a person with a microphone. It is just, it's really hard to say whether or not this is legit all being done by this one person with a microphone, or this one person with a microphone plus an additional researcher plus an additional editor that they just don't mention, so you just assume it's all their own work. I don't love that. I also don't, I enjoy the process of editing. It just takes a really, really long time, so I'd rather not outsource that to somebody else. Also, my channel's not monetized, so I make zero money on it. And also, even if my channel was monetized, I'd still be making zero money on it because YouTube ad revenue is pennies. What was my point? I did have one at some point. Oh yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to have a video coming out at some point in the next few months. And then another video after that. And then hopefully another video after that one. There's a video that I've been trying to make for years. And it is a struggle because it involves shooting quite a lot of B-roll in and around the city of Toronto, which is nowhere near where I live. And I'm only able to visit, like, for a couple of days every couple of years when I go visit my family in Ontario. Which means, because my family doesn't live in Toronto, they live within a train journey's distance of Toronto. So, you know, I've been trying to gather B-roll for this, but also, therefore, when I do get to go to Toronto, I want to do other things like, you know, visit, like, the cool market and get neat food and stuff, and maybe go to a museum or the aquarium, or, you know, like, this, that, or the other. I think, did we go to the aquarium the last time we were in Toronto? I think we maybe did go to the aquarium the last time we were in Toronto. I think my husband just had a hankering. But yeah, so trying to amass footage for this one very niche subject that I'm hoping to be able to research, which may involve contacting people at, like, the Toronto, like, city council and or public library or something, who probably won't be able to tell me any of the things that I'm interested in knowing about. It's really scary. But anyways, yeah. Why do I do these things to myself? Well, mostly because I get a bee in my bonnet about, like, a topic of research interest, and it won't let me go until I've, you know, researched it thoroughly, and I figure I may as well do something with that research output by the time I'm done, because, hey, maybe someone else will think this is cool. But sometimes getting that all done takes years. Yeah. What was I don't know. Anyways, there was something else that I wanted to mention today on stream. Okay, yeah, be careful with your Discord account. That was one. And I don't remember what. Oh, Thursday is going to be a game stream. I have decided, because I feel like doing a game stream. So, you know, that'll do it. I don't know what game yet, though, but it'll be something. It might be Fields of Mystery. I haven't played Fields of Mystery in a while. And it's a really fun game. So, it might be kind of fun and nice to kind of get back into that. I think that would be cool. But I might do something else. I don't know. It depends on my mood, I guess. What is the vibe? What is the vibe on that day? And I'll just try and follow the vibe. Okay, so colors today. I'm using 3 different sets of this Japanese Retro Gensai series to get all of the colors that I need. But for this one specifically, I think I'm going to use actually this indigo to get the texture on the black bits. Because there is like a hint, at least the way the light is hitting in some of these reference photos I've got, of like a blue undertone to the black. Not all over the place. Less so actually on its head, but on the feathers and the tail, I'm definitely sensing a bit of a blue undertone. So I think it would be kind of cool to lean into that a little bit. So I've just added some water to that. And we'll set that to one side. I'm going to move this decorative gourd, which is slightly in my way. Do you want to go up here, Mr. Decorative Gourd? You do? Do you want to hang up next to Anana? Okay, that's cool. You can do that. Anyways, I've also been looking at treating myself to some, because you know, you should get yourself something. You should get yourself something as like a Christmas gift if you do holiday Christmas stuff. And I do holiday Christmas stuff. And I do very much believe in treating yourself to something, you know what I mean? So I was thinking of getting myself some paints. And a few weeks ago I went on a rant about when they announced the Pantone color of the year and how just horrible it is. For many reasons. Both like creatively it's trash, like zeitgeistly it's trash, and then politically it is maximum trash. But I like that the internet has sort of declared that, like, actually, no, our color of the year is phthalo green. Because it's a really beautiful color. I'm like, yeah. And then I realized I don't actually own any phthalo green paint, so I was going to get myself a tube of phthalo green paint. But while I was there, I was like, oh, should I get myself some more paint? I've been thinking about getting myself some gouache for a while, so maybe I'll just finally bite the bullet and buy, like, a couple tubes of gouache paint. But, you know, I don't want things get spenny real fast. I don't want to go too crazy, so. But it'd be nice to kick off the new year with messing around with some gouache, I thought. So, anyways, that's that. Roll, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Hello, hello. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. It's really good. I forget what this coffee is, but it legit tastes amazing. In fact, I'm going to look up what it is. Because now that I'm noticing that, it's going to bother me if I don't know what it is, so hold up. I just opened this bag. So this is an entirely new coffee for me, and it's got like it's very smooth to me. It's got a smoothness, and it's not, there's definitely like a roasty, toasty, like slightly cocoa-y finish to it for me, but there's also like, it's not a mega bright, mega acidic cup by any stretch. I wouldn't call it super fruity, but it's like, it's also not like super dark and rich and like in that way. It's just really cozy, I think. So I'm just looking, I think I'm checking the email that I ordered it on, and I'm just doing a little search for Ozone, which is the name of the roaster. My parcel from Ozone Coffee Roasters is blah, 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 blah. Yes, but what did I buy? Just tell me what I bought. It's from Mexico. Okay, sweet. It was from Mexico. I mean, technically it was from, like, London, but, it was from Mexico. In terms of where the beans were grown. I do like every coffee, honestly, every coffee that I've had that was grown in Mexico has been, like, chef's kiss. Absolutely delicious. They say this one has a flavor profile of apricot, cream, and orange. And I can see that. It's not, like, super jammy and fruity. It's not like apricot jam or anything, but there is definitely, like, a soft, fruitiness to the beginning. But again, it's not super acidic. It's very smooth, and I think creamy is a really good descriptor for it. And I'm definitely getting, like, a cocoa finish. So it's almost like cocoa dusted apricots, which I don't know if that sounds delicious, but it's really delicious. Anyways, I'm not sponsored by Ozone, but I do really like this coffee. It's so nice. I might need to. I don't normally order a second bag of things. Because these things are seasonal and they're not. They're often not like permanently available. Um, a lot of coffee roasteries will maybe have like their core house blends, and then we'll do like a rotating cast of seasonal coffees from different farms in different parts of the world, depending on you know, what's fresh and what's available and what's good at that time of year, and like going out and sourcing different beans from different farms. So, you might not see the same thing twice. Like I just finished one that was I think a honey processed coffee from Uganda with notes of strawberry and cream. Very nice. And I went to find it on the website to tell someone like, this is the coffee I had, and they're not selling it anymore because I guess they ran out of the lot of beans that they'd purchased. Which fair enough. Now I have to I need to look up this robin again to see what the heck this plumage is doing, so I can try and paint it. Okay. All right. Ooh, this plumage is neat. I'm hoping that that using this sort of like indigo color on top of the brown bits here does what I want it to. Which is look really cool. Anyways, how's everybody else doing? How are your weekends? I hope your weekends were good. I had a decent weekend. I had a surprise quieter weekend that I was planning. We were gonna do a little double date coffee situation with some friends on Saturday, but unfortunately David was not feeling very well. Sorry, Twitch users left Sludge Callier was not doing very well, and so we decided to just pick up bits and come home. And rest assured, I did my best at look aftering my dear darling, and he's feeling a lot better now. So that's really good. But, yeah. So it's a fairly quiet weekend. I did about 90 minutes of intensive sewing on, Sunday. And I am very nearly complete the step that I was working on my 18th century shirt project. I'm also about 12 or 13 episodes into season 2 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. My productivity hack is that just to make sure I'm getting like a reasonable amount of this project done in any given week, every time I sit down to do some sewing, I sit down and sew for the duration of an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So I'm doing at least 45 minutes of sewing at least 4 or 5 times a week. And I am... Let me see. How many episodes were there in season 1? I'm like 35 episodes into this, so that's how many hours it's taken me to like cut and sew this shirt, and I'm not even done yet. I haven't attached the sleeves to the body. We'll be finished season 2 before I finish this darn one shirt, which is a little frustrating. But, with that being said, I get to rewatch Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and that's really nice, because I love that show. So, I have no complaints on that front. But this shirt is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would, but I guess the inverse of this, and the other thing about that, is that how much longer would it take me if I were just doing it sort of higgledy-piggledy whenever I have the motivation to sit down and do like a little bit of it by myself. It would take me absolutely freaking forever. It would take 6 months instead of the 2 it's probably gonna end up taking me. Oh jeez. Anyways, so that's that. And yeah, I'm just having a little look, see at what's going on with these feathers in my like reference images. They are quite if I do say so myself, wacky. Maybe that's not fair. But I've got some sort of longer, wider feather shapes here. Like that. Okay. All right. I think I'm getting somewhere. I think I really like the way that these sort of weird, sort of brownish black, because like these feathers are weird. These feathers are a weird color to try and interpret. And in fact, this is a weird. This is a very vibrant, multi-colorful bird, which is super fun and also really difficult. So, yay. Yippee! Why do I do this to myself? Yay. Also a bit of a fluffy chin from the looks of it. So let's see what I can do with that. There we go. Hopefully is cute. Hopefully he's cute. Anyways, but yeah, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope that your week ahead is going to be cool as well. If you're doing anything cool, I'd love to hear about it. But no pressure. What am I doing? I have to wrap my Christmas gifts at some point when I have the house to myself. I was supposed to have a dentist appointment today, but they pushed it back, so I'm not getting it done until Wednesday now, which is kind of like, on the one hand, I'm like, relief that I didn't have to do it today because I wasn't looking forward to it, but also annoyance that I now have to wait for several more days to like get it over with, if that makes sense. Because like, it's one of those things where like, I don't want to do this, but I also want it to just be done, and to be able to move on to the next stage of things. Because to be honest, I don't know what this appointment is going to entail. I don't know if they're going to be doing things or fitting stuff or taking x-rays or doing anything, or if they're just going to like talk to me about what they want to do. I don't know. And I just want it done. I just want it to be over so I can get on with my life, And I think I mentioned earlier, this dentist saga has been going on for like months. And this is like the third or fourth time that they've had to cancel and reschedule an appointment on me. And it's just like, listen, I know in this case it can't be helped because the dentist has a cold. And I don't know about you, but I don't want someone putting their hands in my mouth when they have a cold. But with that being said, just the sheer unluckiness of it all is just genuinely nuts. Like, how does this happen this many times to one person? I don't know. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so yeah, that's what's plaguing me at the moment. And I know there's gonna be more appointments following this one. But again, I don't know when, and I don't know how long this is going to take, and I just want it over with so I can get on with my poor little life. Anyways. Oh yeah, you know how I was telling you, how I was saying that like this robin looks ridiculous compared to the other robins? Please, Exhibit A. They're the same picture. It just looks like that. And I mean, to be fair, at some angles it doesn't look quite so spherical, but in other angles it really does. It's just a ball on sticks with a beak. This one's having a snack. It is an orb. It is a borb. Like, y'all. It's missing some rendering, I think. What, mine? Yes, it's not done yet, Silver Moonlace. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome in. It's not done yet. This is indeed an A6 paper. This is my canvas of choice. It is the only canvas size that I use typically. I don't know, I'm just used to it. Every time I try and work in like a larger sized, you know, like if I tried to do like an entire thing on this like A5 sheet, for instance, I feel like I would just feel like all of my lines, like my line weight is off because I'm so used to the line weight that I employ at this scale. This would F with my head super hard if I tried to do just like a piece that was like this big. No. No. I should, you know, I was gonna say, like, I should set that as, like, a goal or something. If I, like, reach a goal on here, like, if, you know, if I got a certain number of subs or followers or something like that, I could be like, hey, I'll do an entire painting on an A5 sheet of paper. It's gonna break my brain, but I'll try. It'll look real bad, and then you can all watch me suffer. But I think that's boring for most people, even though it would be like a massive, horrifying challenge for me. Do an A3, that would be funnier. Silver and Moonlace, I don't think I can get a whole ass A3 on camera. But also true. Oh god, I did actually do a piece once that, this is going back gazillions of years, because I was still living in Canada at the time. But I did a piece that was on like a wood panel that was like, oh, I don't know what exactly the dimensions were, but it's probably like an A2 or A1. Your skull would be in the way. Please don't look at my head. Please don't look at my head. I mean, I can zoom the camera out to a certain extent, but like what you don't know is that the rest of the directly on this side of our art mat is this T and a mouse mat for the computer. Which is not currently in use because I just used the mouse on the laptop. And the laptop moves in and out of the studio anyways. On the other side is another coaster, my second beverage. Behind it over here is just a whole boatload of these and another laptop stand. As well as some other paints and art supplies for things like the landscapes and textures for Warhammer stands. Over here, Warhammer paints galore. So many Warhammer paints. Also, friend of the stream, my queen, my Jersey cow creamer, who just legit lives on the desk. Because why not? Whole bunch of Warhammer crap, so Sledge, and I love it all. For instance, stuff like just Citadel paints. That's the word I was looking for. Anyways, hello, darling. Welcome in. It's lovely to see you. Hello, hello. Damn, you actually use... I can't see your head right now, but it would be visible if you zoom out. I guess, so my camera's right here. My camera's, like, in front of my head. I would have to, like, move my camera physically, like, upwards. And I can do that, but I don't want to. Anyways, damn, you actually use coasters? I just wipe with my t-shirt sleeve and coat. No, here's one coaster. It's covered in old paint. But it's got a raccoon on it. My moderator / spouse bought that, from a little boutique somewhere, I think. And the other one is, I bought this one from IKEA about 100,000 years ago. And it's still going. I love the minimalist mid-century Scandi tree aesthetic. Delightful. Citadel Silksong reference? Is it? Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe. Oh my god, were they spoiled for Silksong before it even released? Before it was even a twinkle in Team Cherry's eye? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thanks, Warhammer. Anyways. You know when you're drinking a coffee and the coffee is so good that you're going to be sad when you finish it? Because I'm on the last sip of this and I don't want it to be done because it's delicious. If you have the means to do so, once again, not sponsored, but I really like this coffee from Ozone that is their current Mexican offering. gazillion out of 10 do recommend. Back to Work with Sledge. Thank you for stopping by, baby. I love you so much. Much love, darling. Anywho. Why can't I see his mod badge? I can't see his mod badge. He better still be a mod. Anyways. Let me just check on something, chat. Never mind. Anywho. But yeah. Hello, friends. Oh, what's this? What's this? I can't. Hold up. I can't see chat. There we go. Someone really wants to know more about coffee. Oh, you do you? Okay. Do you have a specific question about coffee? Or do you just want me to waffle about a topic pertaining to coffee? I'm happy to do either. Let me know. If you do have a question. Just yap, whatever. Okay, cool. There was a brewer that I was looking at recently that, it's called the Hoop Coffee Brewer, and I can't speak to whether or not it's like a good brewer or a good choice. I think it's an interesting choice in as much as it kind of... I do prefer, I think, for filter coffee brewers that, like, don't employ, like... that aren't like electric themselves, you know, like those electric, like my parents back in the day used to have one of those like electric coffee drippers that you just plug in, you pour the water into sort of a tank in the back and it drips over. Anyways, not really a big fan of those. They're not really as much of a thing here in the UK, I feel like, as well, but, there's this brewer, and it's just, it's an analog brewer. It's called the Hoop Coffee Brewer. I think it's been out for a couple of years. And one of the things that, so one of the main things that its selling point is the fact that you don't have to sort of worry about like swirling and blooming and swirling and you know, sort of doing other things like you would with something like a V60 or that style of like cone shaped coffee dripper. You just pour all the water in one go and it just makes its way through and it gives you a delicious cup of coffee at the end. Fantastic. Because of the way that it's set up. But the other thing that I wanted to mention about it is, that it is a zero bypass brewer. And, this is something that I don't necessarily know if it's like better or worse. I don't think it necessarily makes a better or worse cup of coffee, but it's a different method. And basically what bypass is, if you're using something like a, you know, sort of cone-shaped coffee dripper, like a V60, there will be a certain... You're accounting in your methods and the amounts of things that you use, like coffee to water ratios, for the fact that a certain percentage of the water is going to end up sort of dripping down the outside of the paper and not actually passing directly through the coffee grounds into your cup or, you know, whatever below. That amount of water that's not really percolating its way through the coffee grounds is called bypass. So there are some brewers where bypass is kind of part and parcel of the thing. And then there's some brewers like this Hoop one, that are a zero bypass brewer. And what I'm curious about is how much I'm curious about whether, like, would you change your coffee recipe and the ratio of coffee to water that you use knowing that there is or isn't bypass? Because it's the amount of water is coming through that isn't really being brewed into the coffee. How could it possibly be zero, though? Basically because of the way that the brewer is shaped. Like, all of the water is sort of forced through the... I really... You know, I should have started this with like a diagram or something. But yeah, basically, if you look at like the inside of a V60 or a similar brewer, they'll have like these sort of like little like ridges on the inside. And it's because of those little ridges on the inside that there is water that's allowed to kind of drip down the side of, like, the outside of the paper and not actually make it through the coffee. There is, like, a specific reason why the ridges exist, and I can't remember. But this one, you pour the water in round the outside of a central chamber where the coffee lives, and then there's, like, a sort of filtery... There's, like, holes sort of on the bottom... towards the bottom of that central chamber, and that's where the water goes in to the coffee. So I guess it's potentially not zero, but, like, as near as you can possibly get to zero bypass, as opposed to the ones that account for a certain amount of bypass. I just think it's interesting. And I don't think that bypass is necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you kind of account for when you make coffee. But I would be interested to do, like, a side-by-side comparison of, like, a ratio of coffee to water in a recipe using, you know, sort of a V60 style cone-shaped brewer and something that's a zero bypass brewer like this hoop coffee maker, and see whether or not there's that much of a difference in terms of how much does the bypass actually affect how the coffee ends up tasting and feeling and that kind of thing, because I don't know. And I think it would be an interesting thing to research. So maybe at some point I'll get a hoop and I'll do some stupid tests for y'all. Anyways, in the meantime, we're coming up onto an ad break, so I'm going to have to disappear for a minute, but you're not going to miss anything. So here's the BRB screen, and I'll be back very shortly. Please enjoy the BRB song. In the meantime, BRB, everybody. Hey, friends, I'm back. Hello. And guess what? I learned some things whilst we were on break. I did a little cursory internet search into what's the deal with zero bypass brewing. Like I was actually going to say that I do use an AeroPress about as often as I use a V60, which technically also is a no bypass brewer, but I use it, like, as an infusion brewer. Because I do some people swear you don't need to do this, but I like doing it, okay? I do the like inversion method where I put it upside down, dump the grounds in, pour some water on it, put the filtery doodad on it, let it stand for 4 minutes, and then flip it over onto my mug. So that's more of an infusion than, like, a percolation brew. But basically ease and consistency. And I do get that when you're dealing with a brewer where you have to, like, stand there and, like, pour, you know, X amount of grams, then wait 30 seconds, and then pour another X amount of grams in a nice slow stream. That method allows for potentially, like, less consistency across the board. But that being said, I've never had, like, a crappy cup of coffee brewing it by hand using my preferred pour over coffee technique, which is basically I do 15 grams to 250 grams of water, and I do, like, 50 grams of water just to let it, you know, bloom. Let that sit for, like, 30 seconds to a minute, depending on whether or not I get distracted. Usually I don't. And then I add about another, like, 75 grams. Let that hang until another minute's passed, and then I complete the pour in nice, slow little circles as gently as I can. And that's never produced a bad cup of coffee for me. So, like, shrug. But that being said, if you don't enjoy the, like, slow, ritualistic, comforting, meditative experience of doing it in that way, and not everybody does. Some people just want to, like, pour it and then just let it hang. Then a brewer where you can just pour it and it just does it is probably an excellent choice. Also for accessibility reasons. Like, there are some people who, you know, like, aren't necessarily going to be able to stand there for, like, 4 minutes and pour in gentle concentric circles with a small, in my case, plastic Hario pouring kettle that cost £5. But yeah, to that end, I think it's a good thing that like a simpler, in terms of what you have to do as the maker of the drink, coffee brewer, exists, and I'm genuinely quite curious to try it. I was actually going to buy my moderator slash spouse one for Christmas. I'd added it to my cart, and then the shop that I was going to buy it from sold out before I could check out. I'm assuming they had like one in stock, and I just missed it, and I'm so annoyed. I did buy him a bunch of other cool stuff, don't worry. But yeah. Anyways, that's longer than I'd meant to talk about coffee, but you know, once you get me started, it's really hard to stop. I'm sorry. Anyways, because this is almost a slightly sort of like slatish, bluish gray, I am going to use, I think, this like indigo blue for the lines again, but I don't want it to just full on be blue because it isn't really full on blue. It's gray. And so I think I want to just pick up, I've got this just like blobbit of neutral tint over here that just lives permanently on my palette because it's never a bad thing to have a nice dark gray that's just neutral, that helps to neutralize other things in your arsenal. It's just a good color to have. Anyways, so yeah, that's that. There was definitely something else that I wanted to talk about today, and it has completely fled my mind. So apologies for that. Well, I've been catching up on the Great Australian Bake Off. And just reminds me of, this isn't from this series. I think it was from the British Bake Off. And I think it might have been the series of the British Bake Off where I just stopped watching. But there was an episode where there was this one baker, and she was great. She did a really good job, but she misinterpreted the wording of one of the instructions in one of the technical challenges because she's an immigrant and English is her second language. And it said to do white chocolate feathers on top of the, like, chocolate glaze, by which they mean to do that thing where you draw, like, stripes of white chocolate on top of the, like, dark chocolate glaze and then draw just like a toothpick or something through it in the other direction, so it creates this like what's called a feathered pattern. But you know, it's possible that just because like she doesn't speak English as a first language, she's not familiar with that term in English. So what she did was she actually created like decorative feathers out of white chocolate and placed them as like little sort of garnishes on top of each of these squares, and they looked so cute. But the judges marked her down for doing the feathers wrong, and that just, like, I know that's not what you meant, but like it also just feels, because of like the implications, it feels bad, you know what I mean? Anyways, hello Tals, welcome in. It's lovely to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday too. Good Monday to you. But yeah, I stopped watching the I stopped watching the British Bake Off just because there were too many things that just got kind of uncomfortable for me in regard to just things that felt a bit like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like just it I don't know if I can say white nonsense because I'm also white, but it felt like white nonsense. You know, they did like a Japanese week, and I just felt so uncomfortable with the Japanese, you know, like I have, you know, for context, I have family-in-law who are Japanese. I have, I think, a reasonably good knowledge of, like, Japanese food and patisserie and that kind of thing. And so seeing them just like, oh, what can we make that's Japanese? I don't know, let's get them to make this cake, but put matcha in it. I'm just like, ugh. There are so many cool things that you could make that are specific, like, Japanese baked goods, like melon pan, or you know, like a taiyaki. That would have been fun. Get them to attempt to make taiyaki. That is this like this cake thing where it's made in like a fish-shaped mold shaped like a tai, which is a kind of fish, and it's got different fillings, oftentimes anko, which is like a red bean paste, and it's preferably you would get it served like freshly made and still warm, and it's like crispy on the outside, and then it's got this nice cozy filling. It's sometimes different fillings as well. You can get like custard or maybe chocolate, that kind of thing. Super nice, delightful. Like, why not get them to make that? But no, momiji manju. That would be so fun to watch them make. Those are little cakes that are shaped like maple leaves. But no, they were just like, oh, just make us a cake, but make it kawaii, which they also could not pronounce. And, you know, fair enough. You don't speak the language. I don't expect you to be able to pronounce things perfectly, but at least, like, God, they didn't do any research, and it showed. You know, they had people doing effectively, like, they were like, okay, so do us some steamed buns, and a bunch of people did Chinese-style steamed buns. Like, yes, steamed buns exist in Japan, but, like, again, do some research. Ah! It's not all the same. There's so many cool things you could have done. Made me so angry, as you can see, because it's back again. Make Yorkshire puddings, but draw the Japanese flag on them, says Dan. Exactly. Hi, Dan. Welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome to my rant. Hope you are well. Okay, I am attempting to find a good photo of a cute little bird orb. Oh my god, they're so cute! Look, why are they so round? I love them so much. Anyways, it was just a bit of a frustrate for me, that, and then like some other such things, and it was like, you know, maybe I just want to not watch this. So I stopped watching it, because like why would I do that to myself, you know what I mean? Just pulling up a reasonably sized JPEG so I can have a look here at what's going on with these wing shapes. Okay, actually this wing is a little bit of a... We've got some variations in the shades of gray here, so I'm going to try and represent that as best as I can with my paint. So that is it. Either it's just a massive blob of paint on my brush there. Let's just attempt to correct this a little bit. Oh, beans. Also, that's almost looking like it might just be in comparison to the other gray, which is definitely a bluish gray. Borb, says Tals. It is a borb. It 100% is a borb. Maximum borb-shaped creature. Which I feel like looks really just... It looks, in comparison to the other birds that I have represented here, I feel like it looks cartoonish and strange. But this is just what they look like. And I'm hoping that once the eye has been colored in, it will look a little bit less... I feel like they all look a little bit weird because I haven't colored in the eyes. They look very... This one especially looks deeply no thoughts, head empty. Like, they did not bring the brain cell with them today. They left it at home. You know? That is a somewhat head empty bird. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways, okay. So let me get attempting to do some of this beautiful, beautiful wing texture, shall I? Oh, I believe I shall. It's just very simply a whole bunch of little lines. Pick up some more. But also in a slightly different shade of gray to the rest of it, so I've tried to capture that here, and hopefully it shows as intended. But yeah, I'm gonna take another sip of my ginger snap tea, because it's everything on this, all the beverages here are stone cold now. It's still nice. You know what I do like about this ginger snap tea is that I can taste that it's a green tea, because sometimes you get teas that have, like, you know, sort of like additions and flavors and stuff in them, and you can't actually taste the tea that forms the base of it. I can taste the tea that forms the base of it, and it's a nice sort of like sweet, slightly grassy green tea. I just wish there was more ginger in it. I think it would be like bang on, like immaculate cup of tea if there was just a little bit more of the actual heat from the ginger. Because there's like, I looked at the ingredients list, like 30% of this tea is ginger root, but it's just not really coming through very strongly. It just hits as like a whisper on the back end. I want more, damn it. I want more gingers. More gingies for me, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. Anyways, Dan has named Yorkshire puddings as a thing that exists, which has reminded me of the fact that I have Yorkshire puddings in the freezer, and I could be eating those tonight, but no, I elected to have soup because I'm a good person who likes to be healthy and eat vegetables. And tomorrow I'm making an Ethiopian stew, which does not go with Yorkshire puddings. I am, however, planning to make flatbreads. So it's not going to be authentic injera. I'm so sorry. Do you know how expensive teff flour is in this country? Good Lord. It comes in like a little 100-gram tube. And it still costs like several quid. And that's just a lot for me. So I was going to make little like buckwheat flatbreads. And hope that they're still delicious. With my stew, which is, if you've ever had it, it's that, if you've ever had that beautiful Ethiopian stew whose name escapes me, but it's the one with the cabbage and the carrot and the potato, which is all of the things that grow in the UK at this time of year. So I'm eating a lot of them, and I'm like, what other things can I do with these foods? Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of like turmeric and garlic and spices at them. I think I've got some shallots. I'm gonna throw some shallots in there. It's gonna be very good. It's gonna be extremely comforting. It's one of my favorite foods to exist in from any country anywhere in the world. And I do think that, you know, like, it's not a competition, but as far as like countries that really nail a comforting meal, like Ethiopia. That is so good. I love Ethiopian food. There is a very good Ethiopian restaurant in my city of residence, and I do not get to go there often enough. I've been like once, and the leftovers the next day were so good. But yeah, we need to go back at some point. I'm going to bother my moderator / spouse about that when he gets home. Be like, hey honey, do you want to go on a date? And then the date is Ethiopian food. Yippee! I don't think he's going to complain. There's that one split pea dish that he absolutely adores. And I don't cook split peas very often at home, so I think he'd be down for that. It's the alicha one. Yeah. Anyways, that's his favorite. My favorite is the cabbage, because it's so good. Anyways, Tal says, I've had some Ethiopian dishes, but not that stew, I don't think. Oh man, it's fit. It's fit. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. I will try and find you a recipe if you're curious. In fact, I'm gonna look it up right now and put a recipe in the chat. Hold on. Ethiopian cabbage and potatoes. Here we go. Link in the chat if anybody wants to make what I'm making for dinner tomorrow night. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. It's very good. And it's also, like, it's good for you, and damn, it's tasty. Okay, anyways. But tonight I'm having soup, cauliflower, and kale soup, and I'm looking forward to that also. What would this bird enjoy? I think bugs, probably. I think this bird would enjoy a nice, like, meal of bugs. I think they'd be into that. So I wish them some bugs. I think they would find that enjoyable. Okay. Just going to make sure I have enough on my brush that you can see what I'm painting, but not so much on my brush that it is a problem. Is that... No, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Getting some... We're attempting to get some textures in here. Oh, that's bare... Oh, no. That's one of... This is... Okay, this is one of those situations, actually, where, like, I put the brush stroke down and it looks nice and dark, and then it starts to dry down. And it's like, oh, hi, I'm going to be barely visible. Ah, no, and now my brush is too wet. That was way too much paint. Oh, jeez. Heck. Can I pick some of that up? I can, kind of, but we still have one really fat stripe, but you know, that's fine, that's fine. That is, the feathers are not meant to be, like, perfectly uniform. They're just never gonna be, so I say we just go with it, and that's totally fine. Like, that's all good. Okay, wizard. So I've done the sort of interesting feather texture there, sort of on the sort of just on the top of the wing, and then we're getting into the area of the very fluffy head feathers, which are nice and soft and fluff. Definitely not terrified about doing these justice at all. No, of course not. Okay, I think that one feathery doot that I was worried about is actually kind of dried down. Okay, I think it looks fine. And in the grand scheme of doing all of the feathers on the head, I think it'll look entirely okay. So I'm not too terribly concerned. I'm trying to get some very tiny textures in here, which is always an interesting challenge. But we want to do justice to this beautiful little creature, you know? I want to make sure that if an Australian pink robin saw this, they'd be like, oh, would you look at that? That's me. Cool. I don't know I don't know what an Australian pink robin would sound like. Probably not like that. They'd probably just sound like, you know, can I get, hang on. What would an Australian pink robin sound like? Let me see if I can find out. Let me see if I can find out. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. Sound something like...
Oh no.
I don't have a syrinx, so I would not have been able to do that. Thank you so much for the oh no. Thank you very much, Charles. And hello to TTS Nicole for giving us an example of Australian. Because TTS Nicole, of course, is a wombat. She is an Australian lady who is a wombat, who is from Australia. And she reads our TTS messages, and we love her very much. So thank you very much for the oh no. Much appreciated. But that is also what a pink robin sounds like. And again, I am physically incapable of recreating that because I do not have the right kind of throat to produce those sounds. And you know what? That's okay. With that being said, there's this Instagram account where they, it looks slightly more like a bird now. It still looks weird, but I promise this is what a bird looks like. An Instagram account that is just for, like, someone's pet bird. And it's so cute. But it's also, God, it's the way that it'll say, like, hi, baby, in a way that's just eminently repeatable to me. I'm like, I'm not allowed to hear that because it will become my vocal stem. Like, it's just, but this bird will, like, get, like, it will just walk directly up to the camera's face and then be like, hi, baby! It's so funny. sent it to my moderator / spouse like one time and he was like, no. I was just like, what? I was just saying hi, baby. No. Hi, Joe. Welcome in. How are you doing? It's bird time. It's bird time, and we're having a silly old time with some birds. I'm drinking 2 different cups of tea. This one is just mint. This is just peppermint and spearmint. Which is my go-to utilitarian brew because mint is very good for you. I only heard the end of that sentence, so no idea what you did to Dave. Oh, it's just this Instagram account that someone just like shares footage of their bird saying stuff because it's like a type of parrot, I think, so they can talk, and they're like, and they'll say things like, "Hi, baby." It's really cute. It's I love them so much. They're so cute. You can tell that this is a very loved bird because they frequently say things like, you know, "Hi, baby," and "Give me kiss," and "I love you." Like, somebody loves that bird. That's adorable. That makes me happy because all birds deserve all the love in the world because birds are wonderful and I love them. Yeah. I think it's line weight time because I'm scared of doing the I'm genuinely scared of doing the like painting their eyes in because of all of the areas of the painting where if I F it up, the painting is potentially ruined. It's their eyes, because that's the most expressive part of a bird's face. So, you know. Anyways, how's it going, Joe? It's lovely to see you. If I didn't say all that, I'm saying it now. Hello. I want to make sure the burbs be cute. I want to do the burbs justice. They're special and important. I like the blorb. Oh, this borb. This orb of this spherical bird. This sphered. Yes. Again, I've mentioned it a few times. This is just what they look like in nature. They look really weird, I think, in the company of the other birds, but that's just what they look like. Anyways, I brought out the 1930s palette because I'm gonna do. I need a color for the line weight of our European robin's tum tum. And for most of that, I use this orangey red, and I'm going to add a little bit of the orange from the 1940s palette, but the 1940s orange just on its own is too vibrant. So we'll get to that in just a second. Okay. So I've grabbed a little dude of that, and it's such a tiny amount of space that, to be honest, I don't need very much paint, so I can kind of be fairly sparing with it here. Okay, so I've added a little bit of our more vibrant orange to it, but to be honest, I feel like I should probably add a little bit back. No criticisms, just love, says Joe. Aw, thank you very much. The bird loves you too, and so do we. I hope you are just finished work and warming up. Yay! I'm glad. I hope that you are nice and toasty. I am reaching the point of the evening where my drinks are stone cold, and I feel like I should maybe put the thermostat on, but I'll get around to it at some point. It's fine. It's all good. Don't matter. Yes. What was I gonna say? Oh, I forget. Never mind. I'm just gonna make hot drink, please, says Joe. No! I have 2 perfectly good drinks right here. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I'm gonna sip some tea. Pigeon! Hello, welcome in. Welcome to the Borb Show. Hope you're well. Thermostat, says Joe. Hell yeah. I will do. Listen, when the next break hits, I will.
Oh hell yeah, Leaky just subscribed. I am also here.
Leaky, thank you very much for the sub. 13 months? My goodness gracious, that is almost a year. Like, you are so close. Just like a hair's breadth away from being a year. I can't believe it. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Look, okay, I am not freezing. I have put on a cardigan, okay? Look at that. Look, my sleeves are all woolly and warm now, okay? I only just noticed the odd socks on the avatar and I'm here for that, says Joe. I never wear matching socks. That's why that is the case. I literally never do. So, there you go. Anyways, evening, Leaky. I hope that you're well. I hope you have been having a good Monday. I hope that my hiccups go away. Me neither, says Joe. Twinsies, we don't match. Yay, unmatched twinsies. Love to see it. Hell yeah. I don't know why. I've just always been a preferer of my socks not matching. I don't know. In some ways I feel like it makes my life easier. Because, like, if I lose one sock out of a pair, it doesn't matter. It just means, like, I still have the other sock. I can keep wearing the other sock with other socks. Like, it doesn't matter. So, to that end, I'm into it. Anyways. Pulling up a reference picture for my Robin. Because I want to look and see. It's a fairly smooth-breasted bird. Fairly smooth. There's like a little sprout just above the beak, and then it's fairly... The line from there is fairly smooth. So I'm gonna kind of do a slightly bitty line here, but I'm not going to make it too fluffy because for the most part it's not super puffy until we get down to the downier lower belly of the lighter colored plumage. Anyways, effort on my part, says Joe. They get holes, I get sad, but way too much to pair my drawer full. Oh. Leaky says I might be wearing odd socks, but they're mostly boring colors I can't tell apart. Hey, you know what? Also good. Also works. Like, whatever works. Anyways, I do remember, you know those day of the week socks that people have? I love when you can tell that someone bought or received day of the week socks in earnest, and at some point it's just fallen apart. I remember this one time I was sitting behind someone in like a lecture theater. I was at a seminar for professional reasons. And the person that I was sitting behind was wearing those like day of the week socks, but it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday that day, and their socks were like Sunday. Or the sock I could see said Sunday on the ankle. And so it's like, okay, either you've been repeating that same pair of socks for like 3 or 4 days, or you've just given up on your socks matching the day of the week that it is. And you know what? I respect. Honestly, fair. I would not be able to maintain that. But I hope it's not the case of you've been wearing the same pair of socks for like 4 days, because yuck. Like, you can afford more socks. I know this. Anyways. Doop-a-doop. Now I'm thinking about a song about an American Robin, but to the tune of American Woman. But it's just like... But I wouldn't want to tell the American Robin to get away from me because they're super cute. So it'd be like, American Robin, you're so cute. American Robin, here I got you some bugs to snack on. Please come hang out at my bird feeder. I think that you're nice. Listen, if there's one thing that I am not a wordsmith at, it's song lyrics. So, respect. Anyways, oh, Leaky says, or he's a time traveler with anxiety, so can't travel too far from right now. I just traveled like forward or back like 3 days. Fair. Maybe. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Again, I think this is a fairly smooth tummied bird until we reach sort of quite the lower tummy, and then things start to get a little bit. There's a little floof. Okay. All right. And then I do want to just do a little bit on this guy. I'm trying to do it. I know I'm kind of flitting back and forth between several different birds now, but the reason for this is that whilst I have a certain color on my brush, I want to kind of make use of that color on my brush, if that makes sense. So since I am in orange mode, I want to finish all of the bits that would want using orange. And this one, to be honest, I think I want to use just predominantly this brighter orange, because it is a quite bright orange that this bird has going. But literally also that much. That's it. That's all of the orange that we need for outlines on this guy. Actually, I guess maybe there's a little bit just on the very back here, like that. That's it. Okay. I have completed my journey with orange for this page of birds. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna take a break from doing robins on stream. We're gonna do a game stream on Thursday. I still don't know what we're gonna play on stream. I'll have a look through my Steam catalog and also have a look to see if there's anything that's free or cheap that I could conceivably pull out of the places where you get games for Thursday. I don't know what we're gonna do. And maybe, I might go back to Fields of Mystria, because it's been quite a while since I played Fields of Mystria, and that game is super cute and cozy and fun, and I don't know, I want to see if we can date any villagers, because they're all real pretty, and my farmer is single. Anyways. Should I employ some brownishness then? I think perhaps I shall. So let me get my little robin-y orb back up. Oh my god, they're so cute. They're so cute. Look at them. Oh. I do always, that being said, this just showed up in my image search. I do always appreciate a photo of a bird that's like singing, because it just looks like they're yelling. That bird's just like, ah! And that is honestly such a mood. That is such a mood. They're like, oi! Get out my tree! They screaming. Yup. And I mean, this is potentially a British bird, so they might well be shouting, get out my tree! Oh, beans. Okay. Let's just make a nice, soft, robin-y brown for the back of this little guy's plumage. For which, for this paint, you will need your palette that has browns in it. And I'm going to take a little bit of this. Both of my browns in this palette are named after tea. You've got kurocha, which is a black tea, and then kogecha, which is a roasted tea, which is this one. That's kurocha. And I'm going to use both of them here. You can really see which colors I tend to get the most use of in these palettes based on which ones have the biggest holes in them. Like, I use a lot of this, because I painted some very big skies with this color. These ones are super, super useful. This very, very dark blue and this very, very dark, sort of quite neutral brown. And then I don't use quite as much of the yellows or the reds or even like the sort of warmer brown or the purple. So I feel like at some point I need to do like a limited palette challenge where I just challenge myself to use only the paints that I never use. Like only the paint colors that I never use, and see what I can produce with those colors. Because I think that would be really, really fun to do. I enjoy that kind of thing of just like, okay, you have a limitation, have fun with it, la. You know, I think that's a good time. I think that's a fun time. I think I'd enjoy that. But yeah, that bird was just screaming. That was just a screamy little bird. Ah! And frankly, I love that. I think that's wonderful. Okay. Is there any paint on this brush? Because I started moving the brush across the paper and literally nothing was happening. Okay. Oh, scary. This wants to be fairly smooth. Okay. Anyways, in other news, I have a 1970s Eurovision song stuck in my head. Now, we don't like Eurovision in this house. For reasons. It was fun while it lasted. It was real silly. But also, at times, a bit of a political minefield. And also, several countries have dropped out of the next year's competition because of reasons. And I wholeheartedly support those reasons. Therefore, no longer a fan of the Eurovision. Not that I was ever a super huge fan, but there is this one song that Finland submitted in sometime in the 70s that, oh biddle boy, does it ever get stuck in my head. And it's so weird, and I love it. It is like quintessentially just extremely silly European pop song, but also kind of baffling. I don't know, like the lyrics don't quite suggest it, but the way that they have the various singers singing the lyrics suggests that like this is just a 5-person polycule and a guy on piano, which is delightful. The group was called Freddie and His Friends. Also delightful. I have entirely resisted the lure of Eurovision. Honestly, like, good for you. It's goofy. There have been, I think the only reason that I really watched any of it in the last few years was that I have a friend who used to do this thing where we would all like a bunch of us would like enter the Eurovision sweepstakes, and we would all be randomly assigned a country that was participating, and then if that country won, we would receive a hamper of snacks from that country, which I thought was really cute and fun and just a fun thing to do. But also, oh boy, the disappointment if you got randomized to a country that was doing an incredibly boring ballad. It's like, no, this song sucks. Because the lure of it was always the sort of like, you know, people dressed as disco balls and flames coming out of pianos, and just the campest, silliest, goofiest, most ridiculous shenanigans you could put on stage with like just stupid pop songs, just incredibly stupid pop songs, you know, like Bing Tiddle Bump Bump, that kind of thing, presented totally seriously faced, and it's just stupid. You're not looking for, this is objectively the best song. At least the audience was looking for, what is the stupidest, most inexplicable, weird fun these people are having, and that would be the best thing. Did the best thing always win? Not usually, no, because most of the voting was very politically aligned. You would see you know, countries giving the most amount of points to countries that happen to be their neighbors, or countries that they maybe didn't want to be mad at them, that kind of thing. So to that end, it became sort of a, like, the actually watching, like, the artists perform was oftentimes super fun, because they'd just be like, okay, this is just like a drag queen that's a vampire, and she's gonna sing a weird song in Serbian, and it's gonna be the best thing you've ever seen in your life. But then when you get to the actual voting part of it, it's like, okay, this is like an hour of boring political theater that, nah. Anyways, and the boring political theater has become incredibly loaded political theater. Countries that aren't the UK, because the UK almost always does horribly, yes. But fair enough. Anywho, but, what was I gonna say? I forget. Anyways, oh yes. In the past year or two, it has gone from being boring political theater to loaded political theater in many ways. And, yeah, countries are dropping out because of decisions that, the organizers have made. And I agree with the countries that are dropping out. So, to that end, I am not enjoying it anymore. But that being said, there was a song that someone did back in like 1974 that has been an earworm for me for days. And that's literally all I wanted to say. And that went into direction. Anyways, so it goes. This is a cozy stream. But, you know, la vie, c'est aussi la politique sometimes, and it just comes out. Anyways. Okay, I am making a slightly grayer brown with which to do the lower tummy plumage. Just nice and gentle. And I've actually done a little bit here as well, so I'll just kind of go back over it so it all kind of blends together nicely. There we go. Perf. Love it. Yeah. Anyways, I need to look and see what a European robin's tail looks like. Can I see? Oh man, the tail's out of focus in this photo. This photo is really cute though. Look at the little blossoms. Oh my goodness. Can I have a photo where the tail is in focus, please? Help me. Help me, greenfeathers.co.uk. You're my only hope. There we go. Okay, cool. I mean, the tail feathers are pretty much exactly as you would expect. They are tail feather shaped. There! Yay! Beautiful. The robin is nearly done with line weight, but still definitely not done. Because we need to do the little foots as well. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. The little foots are so cute. The foots are an interesting, kind of weird color. So what I'm gonna do, there's a little bit of a pinkish undertone to the foots. So I'm gonna just grab a little bit of this red and blend it into my brown and make a shiny new color that I'm going to use for this very simple depiction of some robin's foots. Heck. Okay. I know there's paint in you. Come on out. Thank you. Jeez. Okay. Alright. Gonna try and get some little texture onto here. Sort of. There's some little textures on these foots. I love that these burbs are super cute, and then you get these feet that are just like, Mrr. I love it. I think it's super cute. Bees! Hello, welcome in. A cursed jar of bees is here. How wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm just just finishing up most of this this Robin's painting ins. I think it's going pretty good. How are you doing? I hope you're having a beautiful Monday. Welcome, welcome. Okay. I shouldn't have done that to that brown before I did the beak, because I haven't done the beak yet, and the beak needs brown, not reddish brown. So let me bring back a little bit of brown. And now we'll do our ickle beak. Oh my goodness, it's so tittle and cute. Heck. Oh my goodness, it's so small. I want the lines to be fairly fine here so that they Yippee! You look so derpy! Oh no! This is such a derpy looking. I hope by the time I've painted in the eye that it doesn't look quite so derpy. Because right now this is a derpy little Robin. But, you know, fair. I'm a derpy little painter, so we match. I'm gonna sip my cold tea. Kirsch RP says, my mom gave me her credit card and told me to fill the stockings, and friends, we are getting unhinged stockings this year. Oh, goodness gracious. That is delightful, and I love that for you and your holiday adventures. Ah, delightful. Leaky asked Cursed Jar of Bees, forgive me, but is your jar cursed or your bees? And Cursed Jar of Bees says, Leaky, I don't actually know. I just woke up like this. You know what? Fair. That is a mood. Absolute mood. You know, the longer I drink this green tea, the more I really wish it actually wasn't quite so sweet. I did put a spoonful of sugar in it, but I just mean I really want more ginger and less biscuit. Because, I don't know, I like a spicy ginger. I just really do. So, this is in no way like a review of like what is the quality of this tea, and 100% a review of how I personally prefer my tea, my ginger experiences, which tends to be extra spicy. I want to feel that there's ginger in there. I will just drink straight up ginger juice. Usually when I'm having heartburn, I will straight up drink ginger juice, but I don't not enjoy it when I do. That's the thing. Okay. So let's get some texture into this bobbin's head. Oh, dang, it's so cute. You are so cute, little Bobbin. How did you do that? Leaky says, oh yeah, you have to feel the kick of the ginger. Yeah, exactly. And I'm finding that this tea definitely has a taste of ginger, but it's subtle. But I think that's because it's not a ginger tea. It's a ginger snap tea. So it's trying to replicate the experience of like eating a ginger nut biscuit, but as a green tea. And to that end, I think it does fairly well. But I also prefer my ginger nut biscuits to be like, you know, punch me in the taste buds a little bit. Anyways. Okay. I was thinking about a come on brain, come on words. Use your words, brain. I was thinking about a recipe that I haven't had in a very... I can't remember what reminded me of this, but a recipe that I haven't had in a very... Oh yeah, I was speaking to my mother, that's why. A recipe I haven't had in a very, very long time. but that's very, like, this time of year coded, which is called makoskuba. It's a Hungarian dish that it's kind of like a bread pudding, except you cut the bread into, like, little cube sort of pieces. And then you pour over, like, a hot milk with sugar and ground poppy seeds. And then you put that in the oven. And it is absolutely, if you are a poppy seed enjoyer, it is hecking divine. And I absolutely adore it. It's one of my grandmother's favorites, which reminded me, because she's also a massive fan of the Mákos Baigli, which is a kind of, like, pastry that it's made in the same way that you'd make, like, a Swiss roll, but it's like a yeasted pastry with a filling of poppy seed in the middle. It's so good. So good, y'all. It is absolutely stunning. Anyways, the circle burb is my favorite, says Chris Jar of Bees. What flavor of robin are they? This is an Australian pink robin, and they are, in fact, orb-shaped. They really, really and truly are orb-shaped. And I also love that about them. They are incredibly cute. They're the sort of burb that you see and you're like, how is this real? How is this an actual bird that can exist in real life? What do you mean? What do you mean? I think I've got just enough time to... Australian Pink Floyd? No, I don't want to... I don't care about Pink Floyd. I want to see a bird. Damn it. Can I... Okay, no. Okay. Alright, this is... For anyone who hasn't seen what one of these looks like in real life. Here they are. They are orb-shaped. They have a bright pink tummy. And they live in Australia, and they're very cute, and we love them. So there you go. That's a real burb. Wow. Yeah, these are all real burbs, Leaky. Of course they are. Bees says, I just Googled the Australian pink robin right before you said it. There you go. Anyways, Leaky says, must be bad if you are both a poppy seed enjoyer and a professional sports person. I think poppy seed bagels have screwed over, potentially, athletes at drug tests before. Which is a shame, because they're delicious. I love a good everything bagel seasoning. Anyways, it's BRB time, so I'm gonna disappear for a few minutes before ads start to run, so you don't miss anything. I'll be back really shortly. Have a drink, have a stretch, do all that jazz. I'll see you in just a minute. BRB. What's up, nerds? I'm back. Hi. Thank you for sticking around through the ad break. If you did, I really appreciate it. Once again, you didn't miss anything, because we were not here. We were having a little break. I'm bad now. Leaky says, stretching and all that jazz. What do you think we are? Trombones? Thankfully, no. Kirstar B says, all that jazz. I agree. Anyways. I'm sorry. I don't know anything else from that musical. I am not a musical enjoyer by heart. I was in a musical once. It was traumatic. Maybe I'll tell that story one day when I'm ready, but I don't think I am right now. So, moving on. Anyways, we need to paint in this bobbin's beak. And this bobbin's feet. I think I'll do the feet first and then the beak. I'm taking some of this ochre yellow and I'm going to mix it with some orange and brown and try and make a color that feels beak adjacent. Can I go something? Sorry, not beak adjacent. Feet adjacent. We're doing feet first and then beak. Feet, then beak. How's that? Yeah, I think that's all right. Okay. Let me look at a... Let me find some robin feet footage. There's no way of saying that doesn't feel wrong. You know what I mean. Okay. Alright, got some fun texture on this foot. Oh, that's neat. Okay, wizard. So first of all, we've got the little, what is this? Is this the ankle or the knee? I'm honestly not sure. But it's neat. It's kind of here. And why is it not, is my brush just too dry maybe? Don't know. Let's try again. Please just paint. Will you choose to paint for me? Yes, you will. Okay, good. Ah, now there's way too much paint on it. It's super dark. Okay, well, we'll deal. Just gonna do the kind of the lines first, and then see if there's any texture we want to kind of work into that as well. And I think we do, because these legs are definitely textured, especially sort of down here at the, what I don't think is the ankle. I don't know. Birds' feet are weird, y'all. Okay. All right. We've got our bobbins, little feetsies. Good stuff. And we need to do the beak. And for the beak, I need yellow. And that's good because I'm going to need yellow also for some of this guy's tummy. That's really good. I'm getting so many notifications on my phone for Discord. I'm getting so many notifications on my phone for Discord because, because I joined a channel yesterday that is an age-restricted channel, so it's an adult channel for grown-ups. It's not, the content is not adult, but it is just no kids allowed, space. But I can't access this channel by the Discord app on my phone. Because, oh, you can see me. Hello. I can't access the Discord app on my phone because it's an age-restricted channel, and apparently in the Apple store they're like, no, NAPOD age-restricted Discord servers, so I can't view the channel to change my notification settings, so I don't get a notification every time someone makes a post in the Discord, whether or not I've been added in it. The Discord app is ass in general anyway, says Cursed RPs. I mean, I agree. But it's like the only way that I can look at Discord on my phone when I'm not on my computer. And once again, as I mentioned at the top of stream, a Discord server that I'm in was hacked today. So once again, just a good opportunity to remind ourselves to make sure that, like, your password is strong, you don't click on anything stupid, and if you can have two-factor authentication enabled, like, you should really do that, because the poor owner of this server is, like, reportedly not having a great time trying to get their account, you know, sort of reinstated and the server restored to them. Cause yeah, it looks like some shitty people, made themselves owners of this server, that this other person was the owner of, and kicked them out of the server. And yeah, good job, great, wonderful, love that. So, yeah, please be mindful of your, information security stuff. Please, it's important and good. And generally, if someone DMs you anywhere with, like, a link to something that seems like not something that you were talking about previously, or you haven't been talking to this person, and they just send you a link out of nowhere that's like, just like, check out this game, and then a link, for the love of God, don't click on it. And if you can communicate with them via anywhere other than Discord, maybe contact them over there and be like, hey, was your account hacked because you just sent me a real sus-looking DM? And then, you know, they can hopefully get that sorted. Cause yeah, stay safe, friends. It's a scary old place out there in many ways. And I would hate for bad things to happen to you or your accounts or your data or anything like that. Cause it really friggin' sucks, frankly. And I would not love that for you. Okay. I am gonna, pardon the shadow of my reach. I'm gonna reach out and pull in this yellow, because I think that this yellow is a good yellow for our robin's beak, because it's quite a yellow beak, and I would like to make that, you know, visible, but I also want it to be a strong enough line that the line itself is going to be visible. And it's always hard with colors like yellow and things in the yellow area, because they're so much lighter than others, that actually I'm wondering if I should throw in a little bit of this ochre yellow. Not because I really want to change the temperature of the color, but just to kind of help deepen its value a little bit without changing the color too much. So that's what I've done. Anyways, and that should hopefully help with getting some nice definition onto that beak. I hope. Anyways, robins are so cute! They're so freaking cute! I love them! Oh, beans! Okay. Alright. Even this robin, which technically belongs to a different category to our other robins. They're not related. They just happened to look reminiscent to some Europeans who were like, huh, how about that? And therefore decided to name them after them. Noticing there's a little bit of this as well on this bird, so I'm gonna give a little yellow eyeliner like that. Oh, dang, that's gonna be cute. That's gonna be so cute. Oh, beans. Oh, beans. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good job. Good job, me. Look at me being all self-congratulatory on stream. It feels bad. I have to stop. Anyways, my moderator / spouse is home, so I'm going to quickly say hi to him. I'll be back in a second. Hi, baby. You okay? You got two pieces of coke. And one of them did a musical bell at me. Yeah, like, what time is it? Like 9:30. It's just about awake.
You should have been working at that point, though.
Oh, I was working. I was just working while just about awake. Have you never experienced that?
It's almost all day.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, yes. Anyways, here's another kissy before I go back to swim. Sweet. I love you. Hi. Sorry about that. I'm back. Was just greeting my mod / spouse. Saying hello, asking how his day was, you know, that kind of thing. Things you do when you live with someone and you love them. Okay, I think that'll do for this sweet friend for now. So let us, I guess, turn our attentions to this friend. And in fact, an additional doodad of yellow. So we go back to the collared bush robin. I don't have like one reference image I've been using for this. I've been sort of flitting about the internet and finding any reference image that seems useful. I would really like a picture of this bird that's not backlit, if at all possible. Thank you, eBird. This'll do. This'll do. Okay. And I've used a slightly warmer yellow for this, so let me see what I can do with that. Anyways. Chat, what's your favorite species of robin? If you had to pick one, what would be your favorite? I realized as soon as that question came out of my mouth that I don't have an answer. I do like the fact that the Japanese robin does a little fantail. I love a fantail situation. I think it's really cute. But other than that, I don't know. Don't know. Why would I pose such a difficult question that I myself am incapable of coming up with an answer to? Like why like why would I do that? Oh no. Ah, shoot. Yeah, I even don't have an answer to that. Heck. Okay. All right. I've just done the rest of the belly in this yellow color, and I think that works for it. Let's go ahead and add some of our indigo to that. And then we can do like these wings and stuff. Let's see. Is that going to be dark enough? I hope so. Yeah, I reckon. I'll see how it looks when it dries down, but it should be fine. Okay, and I've done most of the lines for the sort of top of the head and stuff already, so that's fine. Though I do need to still do the beak. And then once the beak is done, I will do the eyes as well, of course. But I'm waiting to do all of the eyes until the very end because I'm a baby. And they are, I would say, the most nerve-wracking bit, because really, if you goof on the eye, it's going to be really noticeable. If I goof on like a little bit of a feather, it doesn't really matter. But you want to make sure that the eyes look, you know, as they should, as it were. So I'm trying to be mindful of that as best as I can. Got these very cute tittle beaks, just perfect for probably eating teeny tiny little flies and bugs and stuff. Because, you know, robins and flycatchers are related. And guess what? Guess what flycatchers catch? Can you guess? If you guessed flies, good job. Doof. Aw. Get a load of this little friend. Look at them. I mean, I assume you've been looking at them this whole time if you're watching the stream, unless you've just got me on like tabbed and you're doing something else, or you're looking at something else and you've got me on as background noise, which, like, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's nice. So yeah, I'd say this guy's about done, apart from the eyeball, which I will do shortly. Okay, back to looking at pictures of the Australian pink robin. Oh, such hardship. I sure hate having to do this job. Why did I do this to myself? Oh no. This isn't like my favorite thing that I've done in a while at all. Okay. Just load this up and let me look at your beak. Oh my goodness, your beak is so cute. Can I do it justice? Can I do this little beak justice? I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I am very much going to try. Okay, so it does that thing where it's a little bit, there's like a roundness to this beak. It kind of, just like that, or more or less like that, or near enough to like that. That I feel like I can confidently declare it good enough. But my god, this bird looks so darn derpy. Like, it still really does. Oh, no. Heck. Okay, it's fine. I do think it'll be fine, but oh my goodness. The derpiness of this little creature is just off the charts. My goodness gracious. Alright. Pick up some more of my indigo. Yeah, mix in a little bit of our neutral tint. Hopefully we've got something that's got a nice, good amount of thingness to it that I can attempt to do some. Oh, she's thick. Oh, she's thick. This is going to be a strongly outlined bird. And that's fine. That's not a problem at all. Sorry for quiet, I'm concentrating. But I would like it to look nice, so, you know, I hope that's all right. Anyways, I don't actually think the strength of this line weight is a problem. I think it's fine. There we go. Got those little tail feathers sticking out. Like an absolute champ. And I guess I just need, well, I need a pank. So for that, I need this truly unhinged color palette. Hello! It's so unhinged that my camera cannot actually perceive just how unhinged this palette is. But I'm taking mostly this color, which it's looking kind of like burgundy, but it's actually a very vibrant pink. If you look at it's a very vibrant pink. So I think that'll work well for our fluffy bird plumage tummy. I think it should work quite well. Okay, and it definitely does. It's sort of it's smooth and then it just descends into fluff. Sort of in the legs and then descending towards the sort of butt/tail area. It's got some floofs on it. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess I just have to paint in their eyes. Oh no, this is the scariest part. It really is. Thank you for being here for moral support. I really appreciate it because I'm genuinely terrified. This is the hardest part of painting a bird, is making their eyes look not stupid. So, good luck to me, I suppose. Oh, geez. Okay. Got some little reflections in there as well. Oh my god. That's just completely changed the bird. It is just... It never ceases to amaze me how much, as soon as the eye is painted in, it just, like, transforms it. And I think that looks really good. So this is the Australian pink robin, everyone. I hope you like them. They're done now. Huzzah! Okay. I'll do the bush robin next, the collared bush robin, our little friend from Taiwan, with their just truly incredible eyebrow game. It is intense, and I love it. I absolutely love their eyebrow situation. It is amazing. Mariax, hello, welcome in. Crikey, what a board! Thank you. I am trying my best, and I've reached the scariest bit of it, so if I get real quiet or I'm holding my breath, that's why. Anyways, I hope you're well. I hope your Monday is going well, and I hope you had a good weekend as well. It's wonderful to see you. Welcome on in. Hello. Hello. Okie dokie. Oh gosh. So this is the collared bush robin. I hope you like them. They like you. And they're done. Hooray! 2 robins down, 14 more robins to go. Will I ever be free? I am going to be doing things, again, it's just in case you missed it earlier, I'm going to be doing things other than robin art in the near future. So if you like things other than robins, I guess you've got that to look forward to. Now this robin, I actually want to use this dark brown for their eye. Because I feel like looking as close as I can at their eye, I feel like it is kind of... It's not just black, it's more of a very, very dark brown. So I shall attempt to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of our neutral tint too, because it is a very, 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 very dark brown. And I want to make sure that I've got dark enough paint to do it. But, oh jeez, they're so cute. They're so cute! Okay. It's concentration time. Oh, geez. I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell that this is a very dark brown and not just black, but... Well, listen, we know. Like, the very special group of people gathered here today to watch me do this know that there is a subtle difference in the eye color of this one because it's a very dark brown. There they are. This is the American robin, which again, I feel like should be named the North American robin because they are resident in like most of North America. They are resident all year round where I live. Where I'm from rather. They breed in sort of various all over Canada and the States. They winter sometimes in Mexico. So they're very much an all over the North America bird. And I think that they deserve that recognition, damn it. I really think that they do. Okay, this eye is more of a traditional just sort of black bird eye color, so I'm going to go back to my nice neutral black color, which is this one. I have so many blobs of things that are almost black, and I'm not sure what most of them are. So instead of just like trying one, I'm just like, no, I will just gather a little bit more. I use so little paint anyways because my paintings are teeny tiny, so like whatever, it's fine. Okie dokie. Oh geez. And once again, this bird left the brain cell at home today. And that is so deeply relatable. But hopefully in a few brush strokes, they'll look a little bit more like themselves. This is so tiny. It's so tiny. It's so tiny. It's so fiddly. I think I did it. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. There they are. There they are. Yippee! Happy Christmas, everyone. It's a robin, which is a Christmas bird in this country. Hope you like it. That was really fun. I'm gonna pop now. I'm not gonna be posting this just as like a completed piece per se. But since it is a piece of paper I completed, I'm going to pop a signature down here, because it feels nice to sign one's works when one's works are quote-unquote complete. This is part of a larger thing that I want to do where I paint just a absolute butt ton of robins. And this is the first 4, and we finished the first 4, which means I've only got to do another 12 or so. This is a self-imposed number, because I went on a research binge of robin species, and I managed to narrow it down to 16 robin species. I decided, yeah, I'll paint these. Why am I like this? It's gonna take absolutely flippin' ages, but we did these 4, and it's a good start, and I like them, and I hope you like them too. So that's that, and I'm gonna finish now because we're done. So I'm gonna see if there's someone we can go do a little raid on. And I'm gonna thank you very much indeed for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a nice time. I certainly did. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like we have, you know what? Okay, let me take a little look-see and make sure they're not just about to finish. Because that'd be real silly. But we're gonna do a little raid. Once again, thank you very much for hanging out with me, y'all. It's, it's nice. I'll be back on Thursday doing some kind of game. I don't know what yet. But I think a nice game situation would be fun. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Anyways. We're gonna, I think, check out some festivities with Perrin. I might have raided them recently. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter because they're nice and they're a nice place to hang out. In fact, I think I have raided them recently, but what the hey. They're not gonna mind. And, at least I hope they don't mind. Anyways, I don't have any robin emotes, but I'm gonna pop in some bird emotes anyways. It's a kiwi, which is a very different kind of bird, but we love kiwis as well here, so why not? If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you don't have the emotes, you can just say a generic raid message and or append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. I thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Thursday playing some kind of game. I hope it's going to be fun. Thank you so much. You're all breathtaking. Thanks for watching. Good night, and good luck.